Hey guys, since I'm making my Drytron minimum combo video, I figured I'd go ahead and make a profile of the deck that I was using for the examples in that video. This has been changing a lot. Like this last weekend, I had just the worst luck trying out the pre-prep version, pre-prep with Small Herald along with Dragoon package. I was bricking like every time. Like it was so bad. I was just drawing the Dragoon stuff. I was drawing the contract with the prep. I was drawing nothing but ritual monsters. It was just a terrible day for me. So I ended up cutting that and adding cards like Prosperity in for more names in order to be more consistent. Because I'd rather have a more consistent play than a more explosive potential with a higher risk of breaking. So that's more or less why the deck is what it is now. I'll explain some of the weird card choices. The only thing to know about my locals is that pretty much everything's there. There's like 3 other Drytron players. It's about 40 people, 35, 40 people. About three or four other Drytron players. There's a lot of Tri Brigade, a lot of Virtual World, and then some Salamangreat, some Sky Striker, and then some Rogue stuff. But the majority of matchups are going to be Tri Brigade and Virtual World by far at my locals. So going over the profile, so we got 3 alpha, which is standard, 3 zeta, which is standard, 3 gamma, which is kind of getting standard, but it could be 2. I'm just running 3 because it's the best name for playing through hand traps, so I just want to see it more often than not, to be able to make a play through hand traps more easily. I'm running 1 delta and I'm testing 1 beta. This is probably 1 delta, like in general, like just for name wise. I'm testing this for 2 reasons. The first is that it's a different name, which can make a difference in some scenarios. And Delta doesn't have an effect when I Prosperity, and this doesn't have an effect. So these are kind of the same card in the situations where I Prosperity. But a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are side decking Cycle Readers and Drolls now for Drytron players at my locals. And I'm hoping that maybe I can learn how to use this to kind of play around Cycle Reader a little bit better. As well as playing around Shinshin in Virtual World, where I can like still combo by playing through it with returning the card back to the graveyard. But anyway, that's the names. Then you run the indirect names, which are Nova and Cyber Emergency, as well as Foolish Burial. So that's all the names and all the ways to get to names for Drytrons in the deck. Hand trap wise, I'm just running Ash. I wasn't running Ash for a while. I was main decking Dropwit instead, but I just kept getting burned on turn 1, like with matchups like Prank Kids, and there's also some like Outledge Dragoon Turbo variants out there, and I just kept getting burned on those matchups. So I've gone back to Ash Blossom for now because of that. And one of the big things I changed was I dropped my Orange Light to 1 with 1 Eva. Orange Light's okay, but it's not great. Like, I really don't want to open this even whenever I was running 2 Eva, 2 Orange Light. But I just want to minimize my odds of opening these cards. Like, if I run 2 and 2, I'm like 50-50 odds roughly of opening one, and I don't want to open those. I want to open my combo, and I want to search this. So I've cut that down to the minimum in order to still have the combo, as I showed in the videos. But to minimize odds of drawing unplayable combination hands. But besides that, you just run the 3 Diviner, of course. But this is just something I'm testing. It seems fine because it's overkill to have 2 Eva most of the time. You usually win if you get through 1 Eva, like with the Beatrice. So running more just makes it more bricky, even though it cuts the ceiling of how much you can do. This is high enough, and the consistency is more important. Ritual wise, I'm running the 4 standard. I know Idaten, some people have been cutting it, but I think it's not good. Idaten's too good at like floating and turning into more monsters with U beta, like to spam the field to make like Anaconda plus IP or something like that, or to like go for the Boral Sword for the lethal. Like it's just too good. It's too valuable to not be running. And then Draconids is just amazing for when you get hand trapped. So I think you should always be playing Draconids, no matter what. And then besides that, I'm running Talents, and I'm running 2 Prosperity and 1 Prep. These are kind of my consistency cards through hand traps. I don't have 3 prosperity. This could be a third. But I also don't want to draw 2 prosperity, which is really bad. So, I mean, I'm just testing this out for now as like a third consistency card that doesn't conflict with itself. But this might not be correct to be running as a one of in general. And then besides that, you just have the one ofs, which are the ritual spell called by, and then the Dragoon bricks. And that should be 40 cards. So that's the main deck. Extra deck wise, it is in the Drytron combo video, but I'll just go over it real quick. It is the Dragoon package, and then I run one of each of the Diviner hits. I tried to Herald. It almost never comes up though. Like, it is so rare that you need a second Herald that I don't think it's worth the room, because the room is super tight on the extra deck with Dragoon package included. So I'm just running 1 and 1 as options. And then I have Beatrice, Fafnir, and then Downward Zeus, as well as Link, Kribo, IP, Unicorn, Appaloosa, Boral Sword. And then that leaves one flexible spot, which I'm at the moment running Lina. This could be like a second Herald, or it could be a Nightmare Phoenix. I'm more or less running Intis over Nightmare Phoenix, because it's easier to use. Like, it takes less resources to do that. But this could be that one of those cards, or some other card that I'm missing. Like, I don't have the Link 1 that can attack directly. Like, this is sort of the flex spot for all those options. But this is really good in the mirror match, and it's pretty good against like Invoked. Like, there's some Invoked Dogmatica and Invoked Dogmatica Shadal at my locals, and this is pretty good against that too. So this is it's an okay card. It's sometimes amazing. It sometimes doesn't really do anything, but it's a pretty good card so far from the testing that I've been doing with it. And besides that, just the side deck left. So we got 3 Droll, 3 Bell. I am running Bell more so for Cycle Reader than anything else. Like, I'm siding this in so that I have 4 called buys effectively for hitting Cycle Reader. But of course, this is also still good against like Tri-Brigade and the mirror match. It's okay. But I'm mostly doing it for Cycle Reader, because Cycle Reader hurts so badly against this deck. I'm also running 1 Lancia. I think it's kind of silly not to run 1 Lancia. You can search it, and when you go first against Tri-Brigade or Virtual World, it's kind of a free win. Like, you make sure you search the Lancia, do whatever combo you can, and on the Dragoon. Lancia plus Dragoon just wins that matchup. Like, it's just over. So I think you should always run 1, just so that you have like a free going first win, assuming they don't hand trap you like to oblivion, which, I mean, could happen, but it's still worth the slot. As I said, there's a lot of Tri-Brigade and a lot of Virtual World, and they all run anti-spell. So I'm running Twin Twister for back row in general, but I'm also running Evenly Match, because Evenly Match is really good against the inboards of both Tri-Brigade and Virtual World, and it also plays through anti-spell. So if they have anti-spell, they have to either get rid of the anti-spell, or they have to leave it, and then I can just set and then follow up next turn, because they literally let themselves nothing else on the field. Or if they get rid of the anti-spell, then main phase 2, I can just push through the anti-spell. But this is just for like that mostly. I was running Cosmic Cyclones, but I think running the stronger Evenly Match is just better against those 2 matchups, which is the most common matchup in my local. And then at the moment, I'm side decking the Droplets, mostly for like whenever I play against the mirror match going seconds, so I can negate their Herald or their Dragoon, or for whenever I'm going first or second against decks that matter. So like Tri-Brigade, like, this isn't really good, or like again going second against Virtual World with Shin. This is just sort of my out for those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the current version of the deck I'm running. I'm sure the pre-prep and prep version with Dragoon package is good. I just had terrible like luck this last weekend running it, and it made me not want to run it for a little while. Maybe I'll try it again in a few weeks. But anyway, that's the deck profile. So hope you got something from it, and take care.